don't even know where to begin on this one. Some of you might well have seen the other day, there was a post on Blogger that I did on the Life with Bev thing, and that was to do with a sanction which is being put on me by the UK Job Centre. Now, not a lot of people know exactly what a sanction is. I think I've had quite a few questions in from that, and people don't quite know what it is and what to do if it happens to them. So I thought, well, while I'm going through the process, I might as well explain it to you as best I can, because even me before this, I didn't fully know exactly what was going on and what was happening. So let's begin. Basically, on Monday of this week, I mean, we're now on the Wednesday, so on the 12th of August, I received a letter through. Now, for those of you who are already with the job centre, you will know if you see an envelope like that coming through your door, even though this hasn't actually got the letter in, you will know, oh, why have they written to me? And you'll know the little feeling that you get in your stomach, you're like, ah, shit. Well, I got one through, and it's a letter which is about 4 pages long, which, I don't know why they keep putting this last bit in, which just basically explains that they've changed everything because they can, and this is how it's going to be from the 1st of April, but they are still sending the letter out in August. So basically, this is like the main part of the letter, which is 4 pages long, and should contain all of the information that you need. The letter basically says to me, we've looked into your claim again following a recent change. We cannot pay you job seekers allowance from the 26th of July 2013. Now bear in mind, I got this letter on the 12th of August. See where I'm coming from with this now? This is because we were recently told that a decision would be made about... this is because we told you that a decision would be made about a doubt on whether you failed to comply with the requirements of a scheme to which you have been referred. We have now decided that you did not comply with the requirements of the scheme to which you have been referred, and that you did not have sufficiently good enough reasons for doing so. The decision applies from the 26th of July 2013 to the 24th of October 2013. It's a 3-month sanction. Basically, I mean, the rest of it is just filled with a load of shite, because it says, from the 25th of October 2013, your job seekers allowance will be £71.70 per week. Now, what they also failed to mention is from the 25th of October 2013, you have to wait another 2 weeks until you sign on again, and then it's still another 3 days processing while they get the money into your account. Now, I have a huge problem with that as it is. I mean, I find out on the 12th of August. I was due to receive payment on the 13th of August. Kind of unlucky. But, I mean, that's basically, you know, I've planned ahead there and thought, right, okay, tomorrow I can go and get whatever from the shops. No, you can't. Not when you get this letter through. So, what did I do? Well, on the Monday that I received this letter, one of the first things I did was to call that department right there. I don't think that's showing right, but that is the Preston Benefit Centre, which is, for those of you who live in the Northwest, it's the phone number 608-8524. We kind of all know that number, because I'm guaranteed at some point every person who's ever signed on has had to call that number. The Preston Benefit Centre were about as helpful as a chocolate teapot. I got through to a man who I can only presume was on his period. And he was just one of the most rudest people I think I've ever spoken to in the job centre. I asked if I could have a decision looked into, and if I could place a complaint. Which, according with this disagreeing with the decision booklet, you can ask them to look into a decision again. And it does also say in the booklet, you can do this over the phone. So, yeah. I don't really know why he was like that, but he didn't take any of my details and simply asked me to call my local job centre. He gave me about 3 different form codes for me to fill in. Basically didn't get anywhere. So I called my local job centre, which is the Skelmersdale Job Centre, which I've had quite a few run-ins with in the past. I don't exactly if they were, if the scam job centre was a real person, I think I would have probably tried to murder them a few times. But I tried calling them on the main number, and I think I tried every different department to either get told my call couldn't be taken, and to try again later, or to call a different number. So I eventually had to go through, and I don't know if this will help anyone else, but there's always a little thing here which says about starting work, and it'll give you a different phone number. So if you start work, which is 16 hours a week or more, then you would call this number and you're straight through to people in that job centre. I called it. I said that I wanted to place a complaint, I wanted the decision to be looked into, blah 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 blah. I eventually got through to one of the managers in the job centre, who, I might add, refused to take any of my details in the form of a complaint. Now, she was kind enough to send through one of these, which I now need to fill in as part of the process. This is a hardship provision form, which is stupid, 10 pages long, and I have to fill in, and then that will go off to like a process in place. They will decide, and then I will start to receive this money, which, by the way, a hardship allowance money is your normal job seekers allowance minus 40%. Why the 40%? I don't quite know. I mean, I don't get it. But yeah, so I've got that through this morning. I've got that to fill in. Do you want to know what all this is over? This is over me being signed up to the work programme with one of the third parties, which is called I2I, which is Inspire to Independence. Which, how you can inspire to independence when they take your money off you? I have no idea. Might just go and live in the woods. So yeah, so they allege that they sent me this letter and I didn't attend an appointment. I didn't receive the letter. How was I to know about the appointment? You know, I2I have got my email address, they've got my phone number, they've got my postal address, they've got everything that they need. Yet they allegedly only send a letter and don't even bother to make sure that you've received that letter. Okay, so this also, for me personally, comes in after another month-long sanction anyway. I received one payment after that month sanction. Now I'm on a 3-month sanction. The reason that I received that 1 month sanction is because of this form, which probably is recognisable to every single person who signs on. It is the ES4JP 0104. I don't know if the 0104 means anything, but this is basically what you have to fill in as a job seeker. I call it the diary. It's not really helpful. I've never gained employment by filling in one of these, but you have to fill that in, take it into your local job centre. They sometimes look at it. Other times I've literally had it handed straight back to me, told to sign there, and off you go. So when when was it now? Last year, they signed me off because I'd gone on holiday, and while I was away, they had decided that I wasn't actually entitled to that holiday. Yeah, the job centre decided that. So they signed me off, and I had to go in and do rapid reclaim and blah blah blah. When I went in for that rapid reclaim, I was told, when it comes to filling in this form, fill in the jobs that you have applied for. Since July 2012, that's the way I have filled them forms in. About a month and a half ago, however, well, possibly 2 months ago now, one advisor, who was a delightful woman, who didn't sit there the whole time and phone the work programme to check that I'd been, to phone employers to check that I'd applied for work with them, who, you know, wasn't checking the system to make sure that I was using Universal Job Match, who, you know, she wasn't the bitch troll from hell, decided that actually no, she doesn't like the forms being filled in that way, and because of that, I had to go on a month-long sanction. And it's funny because she said that she wanted it filled out where you fill in every action. So I thought, right, okay, stick it to you. I'm filling in every action. So what I have been doing is filling in one of these booklets every time I have to do a job search. If they want every action listed, they will get every action listed. I can't tell you how many times I've written in this to say travelled on a bus. So they are getting every fucking action. But you see, that isn't what the job centre's looking for either. You see, I saw an advisor last week who said that actually I should be writing down all the jobs that I've applied for as well as all of the actions. So I'm kind of at the point now where I actually just want to be a sarcastic cunt and just write in it and say, had breakfast, which I'm really tempted to do. And let's face it, I'm on a 3-month sanction. What the fuck are they going to do if I do? Okay, so moving on from that. So I'd received through that letter. I hadn't got anywhere with the job centre. The reason that I wanted to lodge a complaint with them in the first place was because I felt if they're going to put you on a 3-month sanction, then they should have the manners to at least let you have one payment before they take it off you for 3 whole months. You know, telling you the day before you are expecting your money when you're only going to get like £140 anyway, I kind of think that's a bit of a scumbag thing to do. Could I place a complaint about that? No. I had it explained to me why they put on sanctions about 3 different times. Still couldn't place a complaint. So of course, as Monday goes on, I got more and more fed up of it, and I thought, do you know what? Fuck you, job centre. So I took to my email address and Google. Now, I wouldn't advise that everyone do this, but I was at the point where I was like, do you know what, I don't give a fuck. I found an email address on, because the job centre is a part of the Department for Work and Pensions, like it says there on the thing. It's probably still not clear enough, but it is a part of the Department for Work and Pensions. And I thought, well, do you know what, if the job centre doesn't give a shit about me, maybe they might. So I'll give them a try. So literally going in over the job centre's head. So it's a job centre. So I found an email address for the ministers of the Department for Work and Pensions. So this is like kind of high up people, if they still check this email address. It's something like ministers at dwp.something.gov.uk. There's a long email address and confusing as hell. And I thought, well, do you know what? Instead of writing to them and saying, I want to do this and I want to do that, I just simply put my story to them. So I literally started typing and carried on typing and carried on and on and on until I got to the point I was like, okay, I think I've got enough there. I did my best not to rant at them during it, because I thought, do you know what, they just need to know exactly what is happening in the job centre. So I sent the email off, and I thought, well, do you know what, I know that there's other people in this situation who are facing a 3-month sanction, and I think it's about time that we spoke up on this. You know, a sanction, for those of you that don't know what a sanction is, they stop your money coming through. They send you a half ton of paperwork for you to fill in. And yet now I still face 3 months, well, I'm already into it apparently, but I face 3 months of not being able to pay any bills, not being able to buy any food. What the fuck am I supposed to do for 3 months? You know? I mean, let's face some basic facts here. It's not my fault that a letter didn't turn up. So why do I face a 3-month sanction for that? You know? Where's my proof that the letter was actually sent in the first place? Where is it? I don't have any, do I? So, yeah, so I disagree with sanctions anyway. I think they basically harm the most vulnerable people in society, because I'm not being funny, but I've not actually met one well-off person who claims job seekers allowance, who claims disability allowance, or whatever the fuck they want to call it now. These people aren't well off. In fact, they're some of the most poorest people that we've got in society these days, yet the government still wants to turn around and just take the money off them because it saves them a little bit of money. Well, no, I'm sorry, that's not acceptable. If you want to try and punish these unemployed people, find a different way to do it, but taking money off them, scumbaggy thing to do. So I sent this letter to them. I will put the link to the blog post below. If you want to go ahead and read it, then feel free. I tweeted a copy of it to Boycott Workfare, to a job centre parody account on Twitter that I follow, which is kind of surprisingly accurate, even though it is just based on like comedy purposes. And I actually can't begin to tell you about the response that I've had from these people. It's literally unbelievable. I had people contact me saying that, you know, it's disgraceful that the job centre do this. Some even went on with the hashtag not in my time, or not in my name, should I say. There was a guy who contacted me who literally explained to me the whole process of, this is what you need to do, this is who you need to go and see, blah 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 blah. And it was really interesting finding that out. There was another group called the Liverpool Claimant Network. They got in touch with one of the councillors around here, and they put on a tweet and said, meet Bev live. Bev's been unscrupulously sanctioned by the Job Centre Plus, thought you might be able to help him out. There's literally, and there's so many people that have got in touch and said, you know what, it's disgraceful that the Job Centre have done this to you, blah 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 blah. You really need to get this appealed and all this sort of stuff. And it was just really good getting a bit of support through for it. And I think when I found out on the Monday, when I first saw that letter, there was part of me that literally, it felt like it died inside. And it was a horrible day Monday. But part of me, it felt like part of me had died inside, because I was like, I've now got 3 months to go through with no money, you know? And I feel that if I get into debt, I risk not only losing where I live, I risk hunger. If I get ill, then don't even want to mention about that. There's just, you know, it's an unbelievable amount of shit. And I thought, well, do you know what? I don't want to face Monday. So, little unknown fact here. Literally about an hour after I got that letter, I went back to sleep, because I thought, do you know what? Can't cope. Done. Go to sleep. Sleep the day through. And it was only as Monday carried on, and you know, I was seeing all the stuff on the news about, like, this is what so and so said, and this is what they've done in Parliament, and all this sort of stuff. And I thought, well, do you know what? Even when I get full job seekers allowance, when I get that £71 a week, people who are sat in the Houses of Parliament can claim for one meal what I have to live on for a whole week. Is that fair? No. And then came the other thought, and I thought, well, do you know what? If I went out and murdered someone, I'd get put into prison. Don't have any money worries. You can earn money. Okay, maybe not minimum wage, but you can earn money. You can, you know, you have somewhere to live. Where's the deterrent for actually being in prison? You know? Where is it? I'm not exactly with this sanction, and I still kind of feel it. I feel now that there is actually no motive to go and find work, because what is the point? You know, if I wanted to live at the taxpayer's expense, I'd go out and commit a crime. Simple as. 3 meals a day, your own bed, Sky TV. And yet here's me on the outside, a law-abiding citizen, but no, the government wants to take 3 months' money off me. Right. Who's done wrong in society again? Was that me? Must have been me. I think, yeah, it must have been. Like I said, I know that with this, I'm not the only one who's going through it and having to fill in the half-ton of paperwork and get my head around everything like that. But there is support out there if this is something that you are actually going through. I'll put the links below to the Boycott Workfare, like I have done in other videos. Go and check them out on Facebook, on Twitter, their own website. You know, feel free to contact them. They have not like a fan base, but they do have a lot of people who are there to give support, you know, and who will remind you are not alone in this. So, you know, if this is something that you're facing and you do feel like really down and out, contact them, tell them about it. the whole reason that there is this boycott workfare is because of the way that the Department for Work and Pensions are running the job centre, or allowing the job centre to be run in the first place. You know, this all boils down to the baldy-headed cunt in Parliament, but, you know, no one's tackling him about it at the moment. So just go and contact them. Go and contact Boycott Workfare. I will also put a link to the Twitter, which is the parody of the job centre. Okay, maybe it's not like a really serious thing. It is there just for comedy purposes, but some of the things that they actually say, it's like, actually, I could see the job centre actually doing that and getting away with it. And you know what? If this is something that you are going through, then speak up about it. Just, even if you don't do a YouTube video, even if you simply add a tweet, you put a message on Facebook or something like this, speak up about it. Because if we stay silent, the longer that the job centre keep doing this to us, and the longer that it is deemed as acceptable, it's not acceptable just to take money off people. You know, I don't actually know of one employer anywhere in the world that if you miss a day's work, they will take 3 months of your salary off you and still expect you to turn up to work. I don't know anywhere that actually does that apart from the job centre. So, you know what? Raise your voice about this. Speak up about it. But I think the most important thing that we need to do is to follow the kind of work that the likes of Boycott Workfare are doing, because they are tackling the government about this, and they are the ones to go out on the streets and say, do you know what you're doing is completely wrong, sort it out. But yeah, that's where I shall end this video.